So we actually go out in the field, we find the particular layer that we're interested in. And the layers that we're interested in are ones that haven't been actually studied very into fine detail. And we target those particular areas, so stratigraphically targeted areas is what we call it, we coined that name. So we take that material, we sift it, we run it through a process where we break down the larger components all the way down to the really small, tiny particulates. And then we actually look at some of the, take a sample of that and identify where's the highest concentration of fossils being held. Then we take that, package it, send it to the classroom, and then the students themselves can sit and go through this material that we have not gone through and find and separate the real fossils from the waste material. From there, that material will go back to a university. We're working with the University of Maryland. And the students there on the university level will actually start speciating that material. And they'll take out the material that is the most interest to them. In this case, it's going to be the sharks and rays, what we call the elasmo branches. And they're going to be publishing on that material. Also, these particular questions could go up to a larger scale of what was the marine ecology like, what was the climate like in that particular time, because we can cross-reference what fossils are found back in 19 million years versus the modern day species that are living in the same areas, and what's missing nowadays. What appears to be way more abundant in certain species of sharks and rays back in the prehistoric times versus modern times.
The 7th grade earth science students got to separate fossil material from sand and waste material, and the Paleo Quest team gave us these little vials, and there's little particles in here, and the kids used their hand lenses, and we would pour a little bit at a time. I can actually show you. They poured a little bit of it at a time onto a sheet of paper, and then they used their hand lenses to identify the sand material and the fossil material, and they separated this. This material came from the Pope's Creek Sands in Calvert County, Maryland.
Hi, my name's Kara. I thought it was really cool, like looking through all the fossils, because we found teeth from ancient. I liked it because it was hands-on and you didn't just read it from a book. And it was neat because you separate it by the colors first, and then when you looked underneath the microscope, you could see all the different microscopic things like teeth and bones.
After the kids separate the fossil pieces, they put them in these little vials, and we put a number on them that match up with the big vial. And this has the actual fossil pieces in it. And this gets sent to the University of Maryland, where their paleontologists basically do a comparison and figure out what the fossils are from.
The samples that we've taken are ideal for the science in that they're targeted stratigraphically. We also try and pick horizons that from which there's a high density of fossils. So for the science, what we're going to be returning are samples that will be curated permanently in the Calvert Marine Museum. And we suspect that since there are no other existing samples like this anywhere in the United States, there are only 2 samples similar to our pilot in Germany. What we expect will happen is that people will be studying these for probably the next 100 years. There's so much information contained when you do high volume sampling. We'd like to take this to scale for 2 reasons. Not only is it good for the STEM education modules, but it will advance the science by light years beyond where it's at. Because what you can do when you have finely controlled samples is you can begin to do statistical analysis. We're not at that phase yet, but once we get there, we'll be able to do all sorts of modeling that can help us understand speciation among sharks. If we're doing fish, we can begin to do things like have a gradual map of how the environment in a given location changed over a scale of 50 million years, 40 million years. It will allow us to make claims in all sorts of sciences based on the paleontology.
So the work that we're really excited about here from the Jason Project's perspective is the perfect example that the PaleoQuest scientists present for Jason's main mission of connecting kids with real scientists and explorers, scientists and STEM professionals like these PaleoQuest folks. And that's the key for us.